Hello there, my name is JD from Studio 2105. Welcome back to MixStream Online and another episode of Weekly Update Wednesdays. So this week I'm going to be touching on the subject of licensing bodies and performing rights organizations here in Malaysia. We've been hearing some rather disturbing news recently that maybe there's some plans afoot to set up to establish a new single collections agency, kind of like what we had with the Music Rights Malaysia. What's that all about, right? Stay tuned and watch till the end of this video to find out. First of all, if you're new to this channel, a warm welcome to you, a big shout out and thank you to all the patrons who help to support the channel financially. If you haven't done so, remember, please do click on the subscribe button and don't forget to click on the notification bell as well so that you'll be updated every time I upload a new video. Sign up for the email list, and if you want to support the channel, consider signing up to become a patron. Head on down to this website, www.patreon.com/studio2105. Check it out, lots of special perks and benefits for Patreon subscribers, okay? Without any further delay, let's head right into this week's topic. MyIPO is conducting a survey on the establishment of a one-stop shop collecting agency. What is your opinion on this? This matter was first brought to my attention by local composer and producer Art Samad on his YouTube channel. I highly recommend that you watch his detailed video on the subject to fully understand the scope of this issue, okay? Yeah, link is going to be down in the description below and also somewhere up here, so click on that, check out that video, okay? Now, the reason why, and he really has really great detailed knowledge on this subject, is because it has got a lot of implications for all the stakeholders in the local music industry, be it songwriters, composers, lyricists, publishers, performers, musicians, right, artists themselves, and also even down to the record labels. Now, there have been some rumblings going around that, that there's plans to re-establish a single one-stop shop, right, collective management organization, okay, we refer to it as a CMO, to represent all the the performing rights organizations, the licensing bodies here in Malaysia, which are MACP, PPM, and RPM. Now, I'm not going to go into detail into the various organizations in this video because I've covered this topic right in other videos on this channel. Okay, I suggest you do check these videos out. Okay, so if you want to understand a little bit more about copyright and the licensing bodies in Malaysia. First off, a little background into this story. Now, in case you didn't know, back in 2016, the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs back then proposed the setting up of a single collections agency to represent all licensing bodies. Okay, we had MECP, which represents the songwriters, composers, and lyricists, PPM that represent the record labels, and RPM that represents the performers and the artists themselves. Okay, and hence, Music Rights Malaysia, MRM, was formed. So this isn't some kind of a new thing, right? The idea of having a one-stop center, right, is a good idea in principle, but due to the poor planning and execution, the whole thing just ended up being a total disaster. MRM just ended up costing tens of millions of ringgit to the local music industry. Imagine if you are a songwriter, if you are a composer, and you relied on the royalties as your income. Imagine having half your year's income being slashed off, okay? And this we are talking about pre-COVID situations, okay? So, right, it costs millions of ringgits, right, to the whole industry, and all that it has to show for was, right, it was dissolved, right? MRM was dissolved last year in 2020, okay? I covered this story in detail, right, on a previous episode of a Weekly Update Wednesdays, okay? So, again for a more thorough understanding of the entire fiasco, okay, the whole incident, I suggest checking out this video. Fast forward to the present day, and it seems that the folks in charge haven't learned from their mistakes. Now, whether or not there is any hidden agenda, or if it's really something that's purely driven by public interest and public policy, right? I don't know, right? And it's beyond the scope of this video for me to comment, okay? But MyIPO has just recently put out a survey on the setting up of a one-stop shop for the local music industry. Unfortunately, the awareness of this survey is tragically low. I would say it's almost non-existent at all. No one I've talked to has heard about it, let alone know where to access or where to read the survey. What's the point of having a survey if you don't inform the industry players where to read it, where to find it, let alone how to respond to the survey? The indicators that there is a possibility of such a move should have raised alarm bells throughout the whole music industry, okay? But unfortunately, there's nothing but deafening silence, okay? Right? No one has talked about it. No one has made any noise or brought the matter up, except for Mr. Ad Samad on his YouTube channel. Again, do go and check out, all right? It's a detailed video, right, explaining and describing the situation. Now, so the reason for this week's video is a little bit different from my usual content, okay? Now, this week's video, my goal and the reason behind it is to bring this matter to everyone's attention, okay, and to initiate a call to action, which is to say no and oppose the setting up of another Music Rights Malaysia, another MRM-like agency. Speaking on behalf of folks in the music industry, okay, right? I know people who are license holders and companies, retailers, shops, and all that who pay the license fees may have a differing opinion on this. I would say generally I'm speaking on behalf, right, coming from the side of creatives and people in the music industry. We don't want another organization that operates, firstly, without transparency, no accountability, no proper government oversight, okay? Right, again, Ad Samad has described and explained it. MRM, I think, operated in 2018, 2019 with no auditing as well. There's no audits done, resulting in millions of ringgit lost, okay, through sheer incompetence. Well, hopefully it's down to incompetence, right? If it's more nefarious and more sinister schemes going on behind the scenes, I don't know, okay? Now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, okay? Now, the existing system, the old system whereby MACP, PPM, RPM, right, would represent their members and handle the license collections independently, has worked fine for years, okay? And although it's not perfect, I know, right? Everything can always be improved. Although it's not perfect, although it can be a little bit confusing, right? It was a system that has worked well and it's worked fine all this while. So if you're a songwriter, a composer, a lyricist, whether you're a producer, engineer, right, whether or not you are a record artist, whether you're a recording artist or a performing musician, whether you work for a publisher or a record company, or if you make a living from the music industry in any shape or form, the results of this survey can have a major and a direct impact on your livelihood, okay? So I suggest go and fill up the survey, okay? Say no to the establishment of a one-stop shop. You can download this survey from the MyIPO website, www.myipo.gov.my. Okay, the instructions on where and how to submit the survey forms are also contained within, but I also leave the link down in the description below. I highly recommend go and download the form, fill it up, and email it back to MyIPO. Voice it out, speak out, all right, and let them know what you think, what we think as stakeholders, as practitioners in the music industry. Now, again, I only speak on my behalf. You might have different opinions. You might think differently, and everyone's entitled, right, to have their own ideas and opinions. What do you think about the setting up of a one-stop shop, a agency like that? Okay, you think it's a good idea? or should we just stick to the current systems and make improvements to it? All right, I would love to hear your opinions and what your feedback is in the comment below. But don't just leave your comments down there, or just post it up in social media or whatsoever. That does no good at all. Okay, go and download the form, fill it up, all right, and send it back to MyIPO. Let them know what you think. All right, so that's all for this week's video. It's a short one, but a very important one. Okay, I strongly urge you to share this video, right? Or even check out Art Samad's video and share that as well. Art Samad's video is in BM, so right, it will definitely help to share that with BM speaking members of the community. My channel kind of caters more towards the English speaking community, so please go and share both my video and Art Samad's video, right, around to all your musician friends, anybody who works in the music industry. Okay, help to spread and put the word out. Okay. Now, if you found this video, well, hopefully informative, please do leave a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Hey, become a subscriber today. Click on the notification bell as well. Do consider signing up to become a patron, all right, if you want to help to support the channel. www.patreon.com/studio2105. Episodes on MixStream going to be coming up this week. And till next time, I hope to see you again in another video real soon. Happy recording and mixing. Peace, love, and music.